I mailed my mother-in-law the receipt for the gift she regifted me. My mother-in-law Diane has never once liked a gift I gave her. Every Christmas she opens my present, does this little tight smile, and says, "Oh, how thoughtful." Then it disappears. I stopped taking it personally years ago, or I thought I had. This year I went big. Diane collects these hand-painted ceramic birds, the expensive kind, and I found a woman 3 states away. I ordered a wren back in September. It cost me $240, which for us is not nothing. My husband Mark works nights and I do medical billing from home, and we watch every dollar. But I wanted her to finally like something I picked. I wrapped it myself, ribbon and everything. She opened it Christmas morning, did the smile, said, "Oh, how thoughtful," and set it on the side table behind her. Mark's sister Paige leaned over and said it was gorgeous. Diane said, and moved on to the next box. Whatever. I told myself I didn't care. Then my birthday came in March. Diane doesn't usually do birthdays for me, so when she handed me a gift bag at Sunday dinner, I was actually touched. Everyone was watching. She said, "I saw this and thought of you, honey." I pulled out the wren. My wren. Same little chip on the tail feather where the shipping box had banged it, the chip I decided to keep because sending it back would have taken 3 weeks. I knew that bird. I'd held it for a week before Christmas. I said, "Oh, it's beautiful, Diane." She said, "I know it's your taste. You like those artsy things." Paige said, "Mom, didn't Rachel give you?" And Diane cut her off with, "Who wants coffee?" So she knew. She knew exactly what it was. She'd regifted my $240 birthday of a bird back to me and called it thoughtful, and Paige had almost said it out loud. I said thank you. I put it in the gift bag. I drank my coffee. Mark didn't notice a thing until we were in the car. And when I told him, he said, "Are you sure it's the same one?" I said, "Mark, I stared at that chip for a week." He got quiet and said, "Let it go. She's just weird about gifts." That's Mark's answer to everything about his mother. Let it go. I did not let it go. I still had the order confirmation in my email. The whole thing, artist name, the description, hand-painted wren, one of a kind, the $240 charge, my shipping address, the date in September. And down at the bottom, a little gift note field I'd filled in. For Diane. Merry Christmas, love, Rachel. I printed it. The full receipt, the gift note, everything. I didn't write anything on it. I found a card, one of the blank ones, and I left the inside empty too. Just folded the receipt in half and slid it in. I put a stamp on it and drove it to the actual post office instead of leaving it in our box, because I wanted it to go out that day. Then I waited. 4 days later, Diane called Mark. I could hear her voice pitched high through the phone from across the room. Mark kept saying, "Okay, and I don't know, Mom, and I'll ask her." When he hung up, he said, "She got something in the mail. She's really upset. She wants to know if you sent it." I said, "Sent what?" He said, "She wouldn't say. She just kept saying she can't believe you'd do that." I said, "Do what?" "Mail her a receipt for a gift I bought her." His face did the thing where he finally understood something. He sat down on the arm of the couch. He said, "You sent her the receipt." I said, "I sent her the receipt for the bird she gave me for my birthday." Seemed like she'd want to know what it was worth, since she thought of me. Sunday dinner was 2 days later. I almost didn't go, but Paige texted me, "Please come. It's about to be insane." So I went. Diane didn't hug me at the door. She sat at the head of the table with her arms crossed and waited until everyone had food on their plates. Then she said, "I want to address something, because I won't be made to feel like a criminal in my own home." Mark's dad said, "Diane," she said, "Rachel sent me a nasty little note. A receipt. To make me feel small." I set my fork down. I said there was no note. I checked twice. The card was blank. She said, "You know exactly what you were saying." I said, "I do. I was saying I know that bird. I bought it. I paid $240 so you'd finally open one thing from me and mean it when you said thank you. And you handed it back to me at my own birthday and told me you thought of me. So yeah, I thought you should have the receipt. Now you know what you gave me." Paige put her napkin over her mouth. Mark's dad looked at Diane and said, "Is that true? You gave the girl back her own gift?" Diane said, "It was a repurposing." I said, "It was my wren, Diane. It's still got my chip on the tail." She said the smile then, the tight one. She said, "Well, I suppose you've made your point." I picked up my fork and said, "I made my receipt. You made the point. The bird's on my mantle now." Diane hasn't come to Sunday dinner in 3 weeks.